than to put yourself in danger and your kid. If the guy outraged you, he doesn't respect you, and your daughters are just running around in the house, why did you even marry him in 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, he outraged you 4 times, and you still stayed. You married him. And I don't understand that, guys. I'll be scared of that person.
But I definitely understand it being hard because I stayed in situations much longer than I had to because I had children in those situations. So I understand the struggle of that. Definitely. But you know, there's that saying, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when you'll make a change. And that's very true. So it's just all about whenever you have the courage to do that. Sorry if my house is noisy in the background. I don't know how much you all can hear. But there's so many of us that it's just like that. So if you hear stuff in the background, just act like you don't. I showed my baby sister video about dating. If you guys can hear my daughter, she's upstairs with my husband being cranky, so click off if you don't agree. And to be honest, I really don't care who doesn't agree, because at the end of the day, I really don't have to be doing this. I don't have to work. I'm still, whether you like me or not, I'm still going to be rocking Chanel and driving a Porsche. So, you know, was that earlier today or yesterday? Like, oh, I could never date an older man. I can never date a man that doesn't have any swag. Why are you here? Why are you here? You are not ready. You are not going to get this lifestyle because you don't deserve it. So, as we know, most men don't prefer to date women that have already had children with somebody else. But if a man sees a woman who is a single mom being such a great mom, then it'll make him a lot more likely to reconsider dating someone with children. It's actually super sexy to see a woman mothering her children well and creating a beautiful family environment. Don't get caught looking dry, okay? Because if I catch you looking dry, -5 points. No, minus 20 points if you're looking ashy. You don't deserve to be a trophy if you're looking ashy, okay? Men pay attention to these things. Another thing I noticed, women, if you have arm hair, look at your arms right now. If there's hair on your arms, shave it off. Go upstairs and shave it off, because that's looking real masculine. It's looking real crazy. Shave that arm hair off, please. Please. Six weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh, God. Gosh. So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, "Don't tell him that you told me." And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house, because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie, and that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my 2 older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister, because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, "Oh, I'm going to the grocery store," that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids, and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old. It still feels like a dream.
This is what I've come to learn, and if I'm wrong at any point, you guys feel free to correct me in the comment section. I stand corrected if I mess up any parts of the story, but my understanding is this woman was following a certain female content creator, trying to get advice on how to get a provider husband, that lifestyle.
Today's video is how to make your partner jealous so that they don't want to lose you or they want you back. Okay, these are some steps you have to take. They might be hard, but they work. Okay, a lot of people do the exact opposite, which is why they have no luck. Okay, getting an ex back or getting the attention they deserve from their partner.
And she ended up marrying a man that S.A'D her daughters. She has 2 daughters, correct? That's what I'm hearing. The man that she married took advantage of her children. And it's funny that her name is the new trophy wife. She wanted that trophy wife image. She wanted to be with a rich man, a provider man. And she married a monster. Listen, I'm not going to bring up any names because the past few days I went in hard on a female content creator who teaches women how to play manipulation games to get a provider man. I stand by what I say. When you play manipulation games to try to get a man's money, what you don't realize is men are highly competitive. If he gives you his money, buys you gifts, if he even marries you and provides for you, there is a cost. Most of these men, if not all men, are narcissistic, sociopathic, period. And they are 100% transactional. You cannot play tit for tat mind games thinking you're going to get over on a man once you get his money. He will seek to get revenge. Nothing is free. Nothing is free when it comes to a man. This is why the domestic violence rate in the African American community is sky high. These black men are unaliving us left and right. They're harming our children. I turn on the news. You see these stories where the black man will come and use his pew pew to not only unalive his ex-girlfriend, but he'll wipe out the whole family.
When they first got married, around 3 or 4 months after they got married, he R-worded her around 4 or 5 times shortly after they got married. Now, look, I'm not here to condemn anyone. I'm here to warn and to tell people to be careful because, yes, people will say, okay, why didn't she already automatically leave after that and her daughters wouldn't have been exposed? No, you're not wrong. However, I don't know if she was in a narcissistic relationship that makes it even more difficult to get out of a situation and all these different things. I don't know. But I also want to be fair in my content and say this. Y'all need to stop being so damn caught up with some bags and some damn shoes and some jewelry and this fake lifestyle that y'all want to live, because you're going to compromise yourself and these children.
You're marrying someone. If you are bringing a man into your children's life, please, please, please always be, and maybe it's because I'm a Scorpio, but always be on guard and always keep something in your mind that it can possibly or might happen, because people are surprising, okay? People, you don't put things past people, okay? Especially young women with children, okay? The kind of armor you need to have up for yourself and your children needs to be times 10. I don't know why I have to come on here and say that, but I really need this to reach people. Protect our babies, okay? A man isn't going to tell you, I'm attracted to little kids, okay? A lot of men are out here attracted to little kids and they don't speak on it, but they will act on it, okay?
The trophy wife story is a constant reminder that the people closest to children will use that closeness to manipulate and take advantage of those children in ways that you probably could never have imagined. The true reality of all of this is there are some real sick people in this world. As far as I'm concerned, I would never, even prior to having a child, even consider taking advantage of a child, because their innocence is something that's so precious. And I also understand that what happens to them right now impacts them in ways they'll never imagine. But for those sick individuals like that husband that decided to get super close to those little girls and then take advantage of them in the worst way, potentially scarring them for life, potentially negatively impacting the way that they show up in romantic relationships with men, women, anybody else, potentially even impacting how they have relationships with men in general that aren't even romantic, and potentially harming their possibilities of being someone that they can trust, the people that get close to them. The saddest part about this is that that lady knew that she had to come up with some entire plan to get those kids out of there, because she trusted her first mind that it wasn't just one of them probably. The second thing is, I am so glad that she actually believed the little girl. Never saying that she wasn't going to, but we all know that there are those stories. This exact thing happens. This man swarms in and he's like the save the day type of husband, gives them everything they could imagine, gives them a life that the mother never saw them having, and then he swarms in and takes advantage of the children. The children come clean, and the mama is like, whatever, I don't care nothing about that. You got to be making that up, because they're so caught up in the fairy tale that they're living. I'm so grateful that she didn't get caught up in that.
Just watched a video of a mother that said her husband was touching on her 2-year-old daughter and her 4-year-old daughter. And she said she was changing her daughter And she saw that she was sore, like, and very sensitive down there. And she asked her who did it. She said, Daddy. The lady said she knew her husband was on his way home from picking up her other sons. She said she didn't tell him that she knew what he did. She said she was finding an excuse to get out of the house and get away from him. Let me tell you something. I got a 3-year-old son in there. And I got a 5-month-old daughter. As soon as that mother came through that door, I would have had him. As soon as he came through the door, I would have had him. From limb to limb. Limb to bone. I don't play by my kids. One thing you don't play with when it comes to me is my kids, my credit, and my money. Those are the 3 things that'll make me go off. Some mothers, they'll sit in a courtroom and cry about it and be waiting on justice for years. I'm gonna get justice, and I ain't waiting on the police. What she should have done was call the police and go and carry him out when you get here. That's how I get down.
I'm not a cow. Listen, I'm gonna make you sweat, make you wet, make you wet. I'm gonna make you scared, little baby, pissing in your pressure. Vault unlocked. Guys, imagine listening to, I think her name is Sheer 7, the Sprinkle Lady, right? You take all her advice, you underline, you're studying her ways, you're educating yourself, right? As a high value woman who wants to get a high value man, right? And all the tricks and witchcraft that you have learned from Sprinkle Lady. The Sprinkle Lady is a witch. She has another channel. She's a witch. So now you've learned all her tricks, her scams, her witchcraft. And then you implement everything that you've learned from this Sprinkle Lady. And it works. You find the right man, an older man. A man that is like, 20 years your senior. Something like that. And he's perfect for you. He's got money. He's going to take care of you. Just like the Sprinkle Lady said. And the Sprinkle Lady's teachings are so good. And you're such a good student to the point that after you find this man, he actually marries you within 2 weeks. You came into that relationship with, I think, 1 child. And then you guys have kids in your relationship. I think now you guys are married for 4 to 5 years. And then you become a content creator, serving the same kind of content like Sprinkle Lady, your teacher, your mentor. All right, happy life. And then you call yourself the new trophy wife, because that's what you are. You learned all of the Sprinkle Lady's tricks. You're living a high life. Hey, this man is taking care of you and your kids. It's a happy life. And then one day, you helping your kids get ready for bed, they're bathing. Then you notice around your little one's girly parts, it's looking kind of pink, and it's looking kind of sore. When you ask your child, what happened here? Did somebody touch you? And then your daughter says, yes, Daddy does. Daddy does. This is what happened to a girl named Isis, who goes by the name the new trophy wife, who has proudly come out to claim that she's followed the Sprinkle Lady and her advice and her ways. And ka-ching, it worked. She bagged that man. And they got married within 2 weeks. But along the way, he's been doing freaky things to the daughters, both. You see, not everything that glitters is gold. And I'm not blaming Isis for what the father did to the kids. But also, when you go into situations and your intentions are not pure, you're not going there for love, you're going there for money, bags, shoes, trips. Remember, that sugar daddy person also has an agenda. Unfortunately, in this situation, his agenda was to get to that lady's kids, to have full control and access to those little girls. 2 weeks, you're getting married. That's a red flag. That is a red flag. And then this ISIS girl, she says that in the beginning of her relationship with him, in the 2 weeks, he R-worded her 4 times. But she still married him. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Money, soft life. And Diana herself, she was R-worded as a child. This guy is 20 years older than you already. It's a bad situation. You're a child to him. He R-worded you and then he married you. But then he wanted your kids afterwards. You're also like a child to him. But he had to go younger and younger. His own children. And I guess maybe one of them is a stepchild. He didn't marry you because he loves you. He knew what kind of lady you are. You like things. Like the thoughts and the hoes. Not to say that she's a thought and a hoe. I'm just saying, those girls. He knew it. And he knew that he had you in his clutches. After he R-worded you 4 times and you still married him. He knew that he could get away with anything. As a matter of fact, if you guys start to think of it, do you think that she was always oblivious of what was happening in her house? Or did she choose to turn the other way because of the lifestyle? I'm not saying that that is the case. And I'm not blaming the mother for what has happened. But I'm just saying, if he R-worded you, you're already a kid to him. You have daughters. It's a recipe for disaster. And these people, they do these things slowly but surely to see what you can take, what you will stand for, what are your boundaries. Something has happened now for this thing to blow up. Apart from the mother seeing the daughter's vag. I'm sure it's not the first time she's seen the daughter's vag. I'm more happy that one daughter was 2, one is 4. So what is actually really going on over there? Stop following these, you want a high value, no, those ladies are prostitutes. In my opinion, they're prostitutes. And it's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. And if you're a single mom, 2 weeks is too soon to get married to a guy. You're desperate. You are desperate. And that's why he did this. Because he knew of your desperation. You could smell it. Oh, I'm so sorry to that lady Isis that this thing has happened to her. And especially the kids. My heart really breaks for them. Because as much as we don't blame the mom for the husband's action, but the mom is the one that brought this monster into their lives. She had her own motives. Go watch her content. You'll see for yourself what kind of content is there. And then you can decide for yourself if I'm lying or not, or if I'm wrong with my opinion on this one. Ladies, I keep on telling you, work for your own things. No matter how hard it is, rather have 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. Zama something. Than to put yourself in danger and your kid. If the guy R-worded you, he doesn't respect you. And your daughters are just running around in the house. Why did you even marry him in 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, he R-worded you 4 times. And you still stayed. You married him. And I don't understand that, guys. I'll be scared of that person. But you see, she was staying there for a reason. There's a reason. A person can't psychologically manipulate you in 2 weeks. I don't think so. Unless you just really messed up in the head as well, you know. I really feel bad for those little girls. That thing will never go away. It will never go away, Sham. And that mother's gonna feel guilty as well. If she does. I mean, she looked guilty and stuff, but I don't know. Because in that video she did, when she was telling the story, I didn't see like tears dropping and stuff. And then she just throws in there, I don't know what I'm gonna call this channel, what's gonna be the way forward with the channel. I just felt like it was more important for her to tell us about the channel now that she got the other stuff out of the way. Because she's a content creator. Something's funny with that story, guys. And I feel like we're going to find out soon. Something's really funny there. But yeah, like I said before, let me reiterate. I don't blame the mom. The guy is a monster, obviously. But these rich guys that you guys are hooking up with, you think that you're so clever, you're playing them, wada wada. Get the bag. No, they're playing you too. One way or another. Some of them, it's talent, or they've got the snake feeding over your soul. Some of these guys will marry you, and they only want virgins. They will marry you. But every year they get married. And they got money to sacrifice you. It's very sad. Anyway, be safe out there. Ladies, single moms, please be careful with your babies, guys. Stop bringing men around your kids. Like, just don't do it, man. Please. These people are not safe. Choose the bae. That guy is not safe. I promise you. I wish all the best to that family. Not the guy. To the kids. The mom, I wish her well too. You know. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.